Hey, this is Will Power, and you're listening to the Indy Sports Car Podcast.
Welcome, ICP fans, to another episode of the Indy Sports Car Podcast. Hey, Mizzy.
Hello, hello.
What's going on, Christian?
Coming to you live from the racing capital of the world, Indianapolis, Indiana. Feeling good.
Coming back nice and tan from sunny St. Pete.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
How was it?
Man. Getting browner and browner. Love it. Yeah, man, it was a great weekend. Happy to represent Team ISCP down there for the Grand Prix of St. Petersburg. My first time down there for that event, and always cool to cross another track off my list.
Really? That was your first time there?
I love St.
For a race, yes.
Well,
I had gone there prior to test a car at Anderson's track in Tampa. But I didn't. Obviously, it wasn't a race weekend. We were just testing something. So that was the last time I was down there, and only time I was down there. So it was cool to come back, but this time for a race and to actually check it out. Great spot in the media center. Great place to watch the race from, and
all
around good time.
The entire media center is just nothing but all glass walls. It's great,
Yeah,
and the food is amazing.
Well. The chicken was cold.
Hey, I'm a big fan of cold chicken. I mean, you get some white bread, you throw some mayonnaise on there. Oh my God, it's good stuff.
No, Frank, no.
No,
Frank. No.
I like my chicken warm.
No.
I don't like it on bread. I don't like bread in general, so.
She considers white bread not cooked.
Are we going to bring out my food, quirks out here?
She calls
I do not like bread that is untoasted, okay? I do not like to eat it. It smells funny, okay? I gag. I like it toasted. Just saying.
Toasted bread.
You call it uncooked, which
whatever, uncooked, raw. It's not toasted.
Raw bread.
Yes, it's not like toasted.
I like it.
I like my bread toasted.
Okay, moving on. F1.
The
F1 season just started.
Yes, we'll come back to St. Pete in a bit. Sure. Okay.
Yes, we will. Yeah. We will return to St. Pete and talk about upcoming COTA.
Melbourne, the Melbourne Grand Prix.
In Melbourne, home of the Upside Down Whopper.
In Melbourne, yep. It's good to be back underway. The F1 season.
Is it?
Yeah, man. I'm excited for it. I think mostly for the return of Robert Kubica. What a good feel-good story. That's what I'm looking forward to most. Unfortunately, it's with Williams, but he's just back in the car, and that's inspiring in itself. So I'm excited to see how that goes.
Who? Kuba? Who?
Kubica.
Who's he?
Okay. Fine, Frank.
Moving on.
I was being serious, though. How long has it been since he raced?
Oh, it's been years. It's been years since that crazy accident he had.
Okay.
And but that's what I love about it. The journey of building back your confidence.
I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but just the journey to building up your confidence to get back into the car after a big wreck like that. It takes a lot. That should never be undermined. And so
can you remind me about this wreck? Where was this wreck at? I don't remember this wreck.
Yeah. I forget what track it was on, but it was vicious. That's what kept him out of the sport. And then he tried to come back. He had a few tests, but he was off pace, and he was basically saying he was off pace because he just didn't have the confidence that he had prior to. So to see him keep fighting and to not give up, and to keep pushing and pushing and pushing and pushing, and to get a ride, it's Sergei Sorokin's ride that he's taken over at Williams, which is unfortunate, the state of the team, but just the fact to get back in, I think for the most part, once you're out of Formula One, you're out. It's unheard of to hear somebody be out and then work their way back in. Usually, once you're out, you're out. So I'm super proud of Kubica and what he's accomplished. So excited to see him back.
He's very bald.
Yeah, okay, it's aerodynamic.
It's true, and his teammate makes up for it with his 3-head that he has.
Okay, Frank. Don't know what physical appearance has to do with any of this, but sure. but sure.
I'm on motorsport.com looking at the drivers. That's all.
Oh, is that what you're talking about? I'm like, what is he? What is Frank talking about? He's like, he's very bald. Okay.
Hey, it's not his.
So sorry, fans. We all can't see what Frank is looking at. He talks as though we can see what he's looking at. He just so we're like, what?
So they did qualify today. So we are doing the show late. We were supposed to do it on Thursday, but plans got changed around. And yeah,
it happens.
So here we are. It's Saturday.
Saturday.
So they did have qualifying today, and
more
no surprises. I mean, yeah, Lewis Hamilton is your pole sitter. Valtteri Bottas, is the other front row.
Didn't see that.
Sebastian Vettel still up there with Ferrari. Max Verstappen for Red Bull Racing Honda. I feel like they changed their name this year.
They did.
Okay. Then you have Charles Leclerc. Is that how you say his last name?
Leclerc.
Oh, it is Leclerc. Like an eclair. Got it.
No, it's Leclerc.
Leclerc.
With a k at the end.
Leclerc.
Kind of like I'm a
Leclerc.
Q in the.
Got it.
Yeah.
Charles Leclerc. And then the team Haas coming in strong behind them, Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen. And then you had Lando Norris, his appearance.
Lando Calrissian, right on. Now, I never understood how Lando Calrissian was wearing exactly what Han Solo was wearing after he took over the Millennium Falcon. What was that all about?
Moving on.
Kimi Räikkönen. Did he take his clothes off and wear them?
Alfa Romeo Racing came in 9th, and then Sergio Perez for what team is this? Was this Force India? Is this their name?
Yes.
Racing Point BWT Mercedes.
Yeah.
Threw me off a little bit. Threw me off for a second. Then you have Nico Hulkenberg, Daniel Ricciardo for Renault.
Never mind. Sorry.
And then new name to the list here. You have Alexander Albon for Scuderia Toro Rosso.
He's from Thailand.
Antonio Giovinazzi for Alfa Jesus.
Alfa Romeo.
I can't.
God, I can't.
How can you not
He's from Thailand.
He is. I can tell you when he's 22 years old. Thailand's flag is very odd looking.
Daniel Kvyat for the Scuderia Toro Rosso. Then you have Lance Stroll down here in 16th for Racing Point BWT Mercedes. Then you have Pierre Gasly, the other Red Bull Racing Honda. Then you have Carlos Sainz, your other McLaren. And then, both Williams again. Ouch. George Russell. And then Roberto Kubica. My bad. Robert.
Now, hey,
I guess I want his name
I'm going
Roberto.
to give
Robert Kubica.
I'm going to give each of you a chance to guess. What country is Kubica from? Missy, go first, because Christian might know. Go ahead, Missy.
All I can see is his flag is red.
Well, there is a red stripe in it, yes, but it's not all red.
Oh, it's not all red, so it's probably white then, because there wasn't anything else.
Well, there's two white bars above the. Just what country? God, Jesus.
It's Poland.
Yes.
Poland. I knew that.
No, you didn't. From that last name, it's not Kuba Kainski or anything. I mean, that would tip you off. It's kind of the joke. Oh God.
Yeah, but unfortunate to see him at the very bottom. But first race back, can't be mad at that. I saw that the team was kind of telling them to take it easy during the qual sessions and in practice because they didn't have any spare parts. So basically, If you hit anything, that was it. So I'm gonna say that he was running off pace because of that. He was being a little more cautious than he should have been. So
Really can't win an F1 racing like that.
no, probably not.
And
Well, maybe it's a money thing with those guys at Williams. They just don't have the cash to have all these extra parts laying around if you hit something. And it sucks because obviously you can't be aggressive the way you would want to. You can't attack the way you would want to. You're kind of just making laps. So we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah.
But that's unfortunate, though, when the team tells you, hey, take it easy out there. We don't have any spares. We have no spare parts. So,
I mean, he should know that's going into it. Like, it is Williams. So, I mean.
I'm sorry, but
yeah.
How do you not have no spare parts? You're an F1 team. You guys spend how much a year?
We need money. We need money.
Williams.
Really?
Williams is one of those teams that's always been, like the underdog of.
I mean, the amount of money one F1 team spends, you could race for like 15 years in IndyCar.
Well, yeah, if you're Mercedes
that's
or just
and you have no spare parts.
Just look at the starting grid, and you can tell which team spends the most money. It's pretty obvious. It's kind of money equals speed, right?
I'm trying to give F1. I'm trying to give them, a shot this year. But
all of those,
they're losing me already because it's the same.
They lose already.
It's the same lineup. It's the same list at the top. It's just.
And this is exactly what I say to the people
no diversity, like nothing.
Yeah, this is exactly what I say to people like, "Oh, IndyCar's a spec series." I'm like, "So you want them like F1?" Because that's what you'll get if they don't become a spec series, and it's build what you bring kind of thing. It'll turn into just a money spending, measuring. I could say that differently, but I won't. But yeah, how much money you spend is how fast you go, and that's just very obvious.
Yeah,
Mercedes spends the most. Next is Ferrari. Guess who's next after them? Red Bull.
So that's F1. That's going to be the starting grid for tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. It's going down in
tonight.
6 hours. Yeah, tonight, really. It's going down in 6 hours from now. You're looking at 1 a.m., 2 a.m.?
Whatever time it is.
I say Hamilton wins it.
Yeah, I'm going to...
That'd be a great guess.
Yeah. The most important part of the race is the start and to turn one, and then everything shakes out the way the race will end right there.
Yeah. Lap 1, turn
I will
1.
bet Missy her IndyCar Cup.
Never. Never. You can never have my IndyCar Cup. Thank you, Kristen and Marty. You guys are awesome. I love my cup. I'm podcasting with it now. Yes, so you can have my cup. No.
Keeps my coffee nice and warm for a long time. Thank you, guys. It was very, very thoughtful. And my my little handle that slides off and on and off my other cups fits right on it. Like, yeah, right on.
So that's going down Formula One. So we'll see.
Yeah, Formula One.
I hope they give Australia a better showing this year. Past couple years.
Okay. Odds on if Ricardo will make it even past lap 1 this time.
Ricardo?
Hasn't he had the worst luck at this race the last few years?
Well, he had bad luck with Red Bull last year. Period.
It's been a couple of years. It hasn't just been last year. It's an ongoing thing here.
Before he did pretty well. Wait, this is his home race, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I mean. His
Yep.
home.
Yeah, you're right. He hasn't had good luck here.
No, I know I'm right because I watched. What was it called again? Whatever.
Oh, Drive to Survive.
Yeah, it follows.
Terrible name.
Yeah, it follows the. I think it's the 2017 season, and then came out last year. So there you go. But yeah, the show sucked.
So it's more of like a docu-series, right?
It's exactly what it is, and they follow like there's 10 episodes, and they follow a few different teams here and there, getting the team principals talk, and you know, and then the drivers talk, and every single driver is absolutely full of himself. They love themselves. They know themselves are like the awesomest person in the world. And Ricardo is probably the most likable one out of them all, I would say. But they get past him pretty quickly after episode 1, and then the rest of them is just basically just a narcissistic.
That's interesting because he's all over the trailer, and so he basically has a very minimal role in the actual.
No. Episode 1 is like I'd say 3/4 of the entire episode is about him.
Okay.
But he doesn't really. I mean, he pops in here and there, but for the most part, the rest of it it's just a documentary of how narcissistic can one driver be over the other, and boy, is it just a. I can't fit.
Okay.
I would say Carlos Sainz is the most narcissistic driver that exists. He knows he's great. I don't know what has told him that, but somebody keeps. I mean, somebody keeps telling him that, and
It's his mother.
and he has bought into it, hook, line, and sinker. Yep. His results doesn't tell him that.
Is this a Netflix series?
Yes.
It's on Netflix. Yeah.
So it's easy to watch for you. It's free. Thank
Did
you,
you
Comcast.
did you learn anything though, Frank? Anything that you did not know?
I did.
'Cause that's why I would watch it. I'm going to watch it if I can learn something that I didn't already know. Yeah.
I didn't realize all the drivers were that narcissistic. Yep. That's what I learned.
Okay, but did you actually learn something that
No,
that
it's
you
not.
didn't know? Other than about.
Zero engineering. Zero engineering, and it's a very expensive sport. That's a shock.
How shocking.
Well, the phrase "money equals speed" is probably repeated by everybody on the show about
Every single everybody.
yeah, at least 5-7 times a sentence.
Every single everybody, right? Mm-hmm.
You know,
Jeez.
Haas. I mean, basically, at one point, I'm watching Haas, and like towards the end of the series, they really get into the Haas versus Renault rivalry for 4th and 5th place in the constructors
Well,
championship.
they do have an article out here that
And I couldn't have cared less.
Mercedes and Ferrari were the only two teams not to open their doors for the extensive behind-the-scenes filming.
No, there wasn't much from them at all. Just the only thing you got from Mercedes and
Toto Wolff conceded that the decision by the Italian team not to take part influenced his own decision.
Yeah, they didn't really take part in it. They just kind of showed interviews that we already saw. You know, that was on like Sky News or whatever, like post-race interviews and whatnot. But they didn't like sit down with the camera crews or anything. But every other team did. You know, if you want to hear what the drivers from Sauber had to say, they love themselves themselves. There you go. So yeah.
There's
Gotcha.
Sauber.
Okay, so if you had to give it a grade,
As far as the documentary goes,
yes.
give it a D.
Wow, that bad, huh?
I mean, yeah, they focused on the drivers and the inner workings of like the pit crews and what they do. It's everything you already knew. It's you know, it's
Which is a lot of nothing because Formula One doesn't show you anything.
Yeah, I mean, Formula One don't show you anything about the car, nothing about the cars, zero about the cars. So if you want to watch it for like the cars, you just don't even bother. It's more about personalities, and boy, is there a lot of personalities. And you know, all those back markers think they are just amazing. Yep.
Okay. Well,
Was it at least aesthetically appealing?
Oh,
to look at it, was it shot well?
Oh yeah, like I mean, you do see them take off out of their pit box, and yeah, but no real shots of them driving around a track or anything that you've never seen before. Maybe a few here and there, but nothing too. I mean, You do hear more. Okay, this is the one thing that I took away from it that I actually did like was you did hear a lot more chatter between the driver and the crew chief or whatever they call him, the team boss, whatever, or whatever they call that guy, whatever Guntherson or whatever his name is for Haas. I can't say his name, but whatever he is, you hear from a lot of those guys, and Zach Brown, of course. Fernando Alonso, not a whole lot. They show him a whole bunch, but not a whole lot of Fernando Alonso time. I was a bit disappointed in that. But yeah. Hey, if you want to hear Carlos Sainz talk about Carlos Sainz and how great Carlos Sainz is for 20 minutes, this is your show. Yep. And Verstappen was on a lot. I just wanted him to show us those subs that he was helping the U.S. destroy during the off season, swimming around the oceans, helping out the Navy. Yep.
Oh my goodness.
The man is a tuna.
Okay, so it's a D overall, huh? All right.
I give it a D, just because of the content. It wasn't the it wasn't the documentary. It wasn't their fault that it sucks. It was the driver's fault that it sucked, because you want to hear from some uninteresting people. Yeah, F1's got some uninteresting drivers, man. Good God. Ricardo has personality for miles, and he makes up for a lot of the... Yeah. I mean, do you like...
I like Ricardo.
Yeah, do you like people... Yeah, Ricardo didn't talk about himself too much. Not once did he say he was great, And they do show some, like old film of them, karting, which is cool, I guess. If you like the driver that they're showing it about, but there's not too many drivers in F1 that I actually really care about. So, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, it suffered because the drivers' personalities suck. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
And there you go. And there's our review on F1's documentary show.
Yeah.
Drive to Survive.
Because I have not seen it, so
if you're bored,
I'll formulate my own opinion. Thank you.
Yeah, if you're bored, give it a watch.
The only other thing I want to mention regarding F1 is the sudden passing of Charlie Whiting, the race director for Formula One, which was a shock to everyone. He passed away from essentially a blood clot in his lung, a pulmonary embolism.
Yeah, the sudden ones are the worst ones.
So they do have emergency measures in place for Melbourne this weekend. So Michael Massey is stepping in as the F1 race director this weekend. Just for as of right now, just for this weekend. I guess they'll sort it out as best they can. But apparently, just being F1 race director was not the only thing that he did. He had a couple different roles. He was a single-seater safety, circuit safety, technical matters. So, and they don't know if they're going to get one guy to replace him to do all those jobs, or they're going to have separate individuals to replace him. So, but it was very sad to hear Charlie Whiting passing away this weekend. Or I'm sorry, this week.
Rest in peace to him, and condolences to the family.
Yeah, absolutely. So, moving on from F1, so hopefully they have a good opening weekend. Hopefully, it goes well for Formula One this weekend.
Yep.
Somebody is on top of the podium besides Lewis Hamilton.
So
it's hammer time.
Right about when Sebring ends, F1 will begin. Pretty much.
Yes. Yes, because Sebring is going on right now, so
As we speak.
12 hours of Sebring.
Missy, who's leading? Doesn't matter.
Well, right now in DPI, you have Felipe Nasser is leading in a Cadillac DPI. For GTLM, you have Richard Westbrook leading in the 4GT. In LMP2, you have Kyle Mason leading, which there's only 2 of them, so everybody makes the podium.
You get a podium. You get a podium.
Everyone gets a podium.
Hey, you showed up here. Good job, guys.
And in GTD, currently, you have Jerome Bleekemolen leading in the Mercedes AMG GT3.
All right, so
there's still 3 hours and 30 minutes left.
where's Tristan's team at? The JDC DPI.
DPI, you said?
JDC, yeah.
JDC, let's see. Tristan. His teammate.
Doesn't look good.
Oh, wait. Oh, no, that's Tristan Nunez. My bad. Here we go. 7th. They're
Okay.
currently in 7th.
It's a long race. Sebring's a fun track to go to. That's for sure. I'm glad
It's all get out.
I'm glad I went there once. See, Matt Bell said it the best. Sebring is about as far away from a body of water in Florida you could possibly get. And he ain't kidding. There is nothing there. There's a nice lake there, actually. Yeah, but that's it. And that was an interesting weekend. All right.
So Sebring, there you go. There's not much to say. Race is still going on. There's still 3 hours left, so anything can happen in that 3 hours.
Plus it's Simpson, so what is there to say? Now, moving on. All right, so let's talk about some St. Pete. Christian, thoughts? St. Pete. Give it a grade. We did a poll. Missy will reveal the results of that poll shortly. I want to hear what your grade was.
I say it was an A minus.
A minus. All right.
Yeah. Good run. I'm really excited for this season. Just to there's so many different complexities. I feel this year with the new drivers coming in, and crazy to see Rosenqvist, up there that old time led the race for a bit.
No, it's not. It's not crazy.
And
it's exactly what I expected. Sorry.
Yes. Okay. No. But no, that was interesting to see. I don't know. I did overhear some fans saying that him leading kind of lends credence to what they think about F1 drivers being the best in the world, because how could he just come over to IndyCar and be so competitive so quickly?
Felix Rosenqvist is not an F1 driver.
I was like, he didn't race F1, did he?
Well, no. I mean,
raced a lot of things.
What?
Time
So
out.
Time. Felix Rosenqvist was not an F1 driver. Has never been an F1 driver.
I'm sorry, I meant E, Formula E. I apologize.
He wasn't. No. He raced one season in Formula E. He made his bones in like F4, F3, F2, GT3, Blanc Spain, Indy Lights. Every Indy Lights race he raced in, he won pretty much, which was half a season, 2 seasons ago. He probably would have won the championship if he would have stayed a full season. But he didn't, because he was committed to 17 other teams that year. I'm serious. The guy is, I've been saying it for 3 years now. Missy can back me up on this. For 3 years now, I've been saying Felix Rosenqvist belongs in IndyCar, and he's here. And him and Pato, I can't wait till Coda, because watch out. Felix Rosenqvist, Pato Award. I love Felix Rosenqvist and Will Power. Now, Will Power still edged him out. I'd like to say that, and I'm happy to see that. But watching them two race each other, I mean, Rosenqvist made a great pass on Power, didn't he? Was that textbook just awesomeness right there? That was a textbook, clean pass right there. And I'm sure Will Power gained a whole lot of respect for him real quick.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
Yeah, it was a good pass. I mean, I was rooting for Felix Rosenquist. I like Felix. I mean, like I said, we were watching him at Indy Lights, and he was in Blanc, Spain, I think, the same year.
Yeah.
As Tristan's teammate. So I've been watching him for a while. So
him and Tristan won the championship
Felix.
that year in Blanc,
Yeah,
Spain.
they did. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Every single series, except for Indy Lights because he didn't stay a whole season, he has won the championship in. And I don't know that for a fact, but I would bet my bottom dollar I'm right. Yep. Anyway.
There you go.
But yeah, the kid, and he's not a kid. He's 27 years old. All right. He feels like a kid, He really does. But then again, I'm old, so 27 is young to me. So, right, Christian, you youngin'?
That's not old. 20. You're not old, Frank. You're not old.
I am ancient, son. And you're coming.
Well, then what are the people who are in their 60s then? If you're ancient now, then what the hell are they?
Beating the odds.
Wow. Okay, Frank. Okay.
Every day you're alive is as you like to say, is a blessing, but it really is for them because they should already be in the ground.
Wow.
That's a joke. It's a joke,
Moving
guys.
on.
Everything I say is a joke. Calm
Everyone.
down, you snowflakes. Jeez. Sorry.
All right. We St. Pete this weekend. Everyone was
Frank
there.
anything ever again.
What's that? No, back up. What?
Nope.
So I'm not telling you anything ever again.
Why?
So this weekend, everybody.
Did you take everything? No, man. I'm not telling you anything ever.
God.
I'm not a snowflake, but I'm very upset right now with someone. No, I'm not upset with them.
Yeah, moving on. So everyone was here this weekend. So USF 2000, Indy Pro 2000, and I got it right. How about that? And Indy Lights. So
let me get hold on. I just want to get the applause button ready. Go ahead, Missy.
okay.
You can do the USF. I'll have
So
it ready
USF
by
2000.
Pro Mazda.
Your race 1 winner was Brandon Eves, Manuel Solomon, and Hunter McElray was your top 3 podium finishers for race 1. I don't know if there's any notables.
And I talked to Hunter. He was, you know what, for an Aussie to come over, race on a road course or street course for his first time, surrounded by concrete, hardly any runoffs. For him to do as well as he did, bravo! That just shows how much talent this kid has.
The whole podium was rookies, actually, for USF 2000.
Yeah,
and congrats to Bruna Tomaselli for finishing 6th.
Yeah, that was awesome. It was great to see her, in the top 10 like that. That was really
Christian,
awesome.
I see
She
your
just
buddy
missed top 5.
Did a barrel roll.
Who?
What's that?
I've seen Christian's buddy did a barrel roll in the first race.
Who's Christian's buddy?
He's thankfully okay.
What's his name?
After his barrel roll.
What's his name?
Alex.
Oh, Baron? The red Baron?
Yes, he did. He did a barrel roll.
What, in USF 2000?
Yeah,
He went down?
he went airborne and did.
No,
a
he
barrel
went down a series? I thought he was in. Oh no, wasn't he? No, he was in USF 2000 last year, right?
roll. No, I think
Yeah.
he wasn't. Was he?
Was
Yeah.
he? I mean, you should know,
Okay.
right?
We were at Lucas Oil talking about it, remember?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That bum.
Anyway,
Yeah, that
so there you go.
that
So
bum
was
can't
race
even
1.
finish a race in St. Pete. I mean, come on, you bum.
Yeah. I can't.
Jeez.
I cannot.
The red
Yo.
bum, the red Baron bum.
So,
Yeah, you underachieving bum. Get out of there. You're soaking up a seat for other talented
All right,
people that are
Frank.
so much better than you,
Race
you
2.
bum.
Stop.
Get out of here. Go race Formula E with the rest of the losers.
Race 2. Oh my God.
I have no idea
so-
who this man
Aaron
is. I don't want to meet him.
Wow.
I hope he
I
doesn't
can't.
listen.
Can't deal.
No, I hope he does listen. You know what, Alex? You suck. That's what I'm just saying right now. I'm behind Christian 110%. Christian's right. You suck.
Braden Eves was your.
Missy just hit me twice. I don't like this setup anymore. I want to go back to USAP mics. I want to go back to separate rooms.
So be quiet, Frank. So Braden Eves swept the weekend in USF 2000. He was your winner in race 2. And Hunter McElroy came in second. And Zach Holden was your finishing podium for this race 2.
Good job, Zach.
Just throwing out, Alex Barron came in 4th.
What? Wait. He came in 4th? He top 5'd?
Yes.
Way to go. The Red Baron, top 5, and I like that guy. I see nothing but potential and good things in his future.
I cannot deal.
Oh, it's amazing to see what a bum can do.
Again. She finished 7th. So.
Wow.
Oh my God. Moving on to Indy Pro 2000.
Oh, yeah. And I'm already ready. Missy, let it rip. And by the way, I just want to say, just want preference, Christian, you weren't here because you're a bum, just like your buddy. Just like the bum, the Red Baron bum, you weren't on. He wasn't on the show, and neither were you a week or so ago. And I predicted Parker with a new team. Ray Gates probably didn't even know half the names of the guys who he was racing for, or at least I know him. He's Canadian, so he was probably nice and acted like he did, but I'm sure he didn't. However, he went from pole to podium both times. And that was a joke, by the way. Everybody calm down. I'm sure he knew their names. Jesus. Because I could see Missy over there throwing her arms up. Like, come on, Frank, I mean, I want him to continue racing with Team Able
Motorsports.
Thank you. I didn't know if there's anything more to that. But
Science of Racecraft 1.
Awesome.
So, yay.
Hey, congratulations, Christian. Good job, buddy.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the pole to podium driver for them wasn't there. However,
shout out to Kelly Jones.
There you go. Kelly, is that the owner of Able?
Kelly Jones is the owner of Racecraft 1.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I know his name's Kelly, but I mean, he's not the only one named Kelly in this world. So I didn't know Kelly's last name. I'm sorry. Don't hold that against me. You don't say, you've never said Kelly Jones before to me once. You just say Kelly, so I know him as Kelly. I call him Kelly. When I see him, I say, hi, Kelly. I don't say, hi, Mr. Jones.
All right, Frank, that's enough.
And I will from now on.
So, Indy Pro 2000.
Hold on.
The winner was Parker Thompson. Yay, Parker. And, of course, Frank messed up with his...
Well, hold on. Well, you know what? Not just yet. Go ahead, Missy.
Coming in second was Rasmus Lynn, and then Stingray Robb was your third place finisher for the Indy Pro 2000 GP. Oh my God, I keep wanting to say Indy Lights whenever I say
it's Pro
start.
Mazda. I'm done.
I keep wanting to say
I'm done
Indy
with this
Lights whenever
dumb
I say
name.
Indy.
It's Pro Mazda until they come up with a better one. Okay, RTI.
His mama named him Clay. I'm gonna call him Clay. Right? Okay.
Exactly.
So that was your podium for race 1 in Indy Pro 2000.
The name for the new Pro Mazda series is just as much of a bum name as Baron. It's almost like Baron made the name. Let's see, I suck. Let me come up with a name that sucks just like me.
Well, we know who's never coming on this show, don't we? Okay.
I beg to differ. He's scheduled next week. Didn't mean to tell you that.
Not.
No,
anyway, moving on.
It never will.
Race 2 for Indy Pro 2000. Sweeping the weekend was Parker Thompson again for this win.
He gets two. He gets 2 rounds. Oh, yeah. It feels good. It feels good, Parker. God.
Followed by Kyle Kirkwood and Daniel Frost was your podium for race 2. So hopefully Parker was only scheduled to race these 2 races, but hopefully this gives funding, for the championship leader currently in Indy Pro 2000. So he gets some sponsors so he can finish racing the season. Their next race is Indy, so he's got some time to get something together.
I hate the USF 2000 schedule. They should be at Barber. I'm sorry. They should. Because we'll be there. That's the only reason why.
Oh, wow. For no other reason than that.
Is there any better reason?
There you go. That was your podium for Indy Pro 2000 this weekend.
Oh, it's such a shame. I won't be able to see my buddy.
So your Indy Lights, your podium for race 1 was Zachary Clayman. DeMello. I don't care why he doesn't have DeMello on there anymore, but his name is Zachary Clayman. But
tired of being confused with a candy bar, I guess.
And then Toby Sowery was second, and then Oliver Askew came in third for race 1.
Hold on. Okay.
Yes, so
it was just
congratulations
P3.
to
Ollie. Yeah.
So congratulations to him. David Lucas came in fourth. Congratulations to David. Another buddy who's been on the show.
Yep.
He and
is
also
a good
Robert,
driver.
His first year, he came in sixth. Robert McGinnis.
Sixth?
Robert McGinnis.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what, Robert? You got to ride in Indy Lights. We love you.
And Ryan SVK was right above him in fifth. And then in race 2, Ryan SVK was your winner, followed by Zachary Clayman, and Toby Sowery again. That's probably not how you say his name.
No,
Sowery.
we should have him on so you can butcher his name all show. It'll be fun.
No, because then I'll ask him and it'll be fun.
Yeah. Either way, it'll be fun.
And David Malukas came in fourth in race 2 also, so congratulations.
Is that 2 P4s?
For David Malukas, yes it is.
This is what he gets for P4s, 2 P4s. There you go, buddy. Until you get on the podium, you will get a full applause.
So that was your Road to Indy podiums.
Hashtag RTI, I think.
So the big dance for IndyCar was
Oh, and I just like to preface, I called the poll. So did everybody else in the world, but hey, they were right too.
yes.
Boy, was I right a lot. I'm getting good at this prediction stuff.
Don't rub it in. So yes, Will Power was your podium for St. Pete. I believe that makes 8 out of 10 polls the last 10 years for him.
For St. Pete, yep. And how many polls on for his career minus the asterisk? Don't worry about it. Yeah, good job, Will. Putting his thing down. That's what he did. He went out there with 3 minutes left in the Fast Six, put a screamer down, came back in, said, "My job is done here. Please bring the sticker over."
55.
It's 56, really.
Okay.
56 polls for Willpower. Willpower. And it's 56-ish kind of polls.
So
a lot of polls.
Yeah,
well, it's really 55.
IndyCar race, your winner was Joseph Newgarden, back on top, followed by returning 2018 IndyCar champion Scott Dixon, and Will Power was your podium for St. Petersburg this weekend, followed by the Rook, Felix Rosenquist.
Yeah, exactly where I thought he'd be, top 5.
And you had Alexander Rossi there.
Jack Harvey had a great run.
Yes, Jack Harvey did.
Top 10, early.
Mm-hmm.
Don't even want to talk about 9th.
Rosenquist, Rossi, James Hinchcliffe, Simon Pagino, Colton Herta, Santino Ferrucci, and Jack Harvey was your top 10. Then you had Spencer Piggott, Graham Rahal, Marco Andretti, Zach Veach, Tony Kanaan, Max Chilton, Charlie Kimball, Ben Hanley, Takuma Sato, Marcus Ericsson, Ed Jones, Matthias Lace, Ryan Hunter-Ray, and Sebastian Bourdais.
I just want to throw out for all you Ryan Hunter-Ray haters, once again, another mechanical malfunction that had nothing to do with him.
I'm just going to throw this out there. There were 4
Who's hating on Captain America?
mechanical failures.
No, there's a lot of haters out there for RHR as far as him being a top 5-ish, maybe top 7 best driver in the series kind
All
of
right,
thing.
he's had some rough years recently. I'll give him. I get it.
Yeah, with mechanical failures over and over and over. Not too many crashes, hardly any.
I just want to throw out there, there was 4 mechanical failures this weekend. They were all Hondas.
Mm-hmm.
Just throwing that out there.
Yep. You know, Marcus...
Because I believe Sebastian Bourdais and Hunter Ray, I believe they both blew their engines.
So did Marcus... it was Takuma Sato, Marcus Ericsson, Ryan Hunter-Reay, and Sebastian Bourdais. All mechanical, all engines blown.
I don't know if Marcus Ericsson and Takuma Sato were blown engines.
I don't know either, but
I know Ryan Hunter-Reay and Sebastian Bourdais were. You're such a... God. Because I remember Ryan Hunter-Reay's big smoke, all his smoke on the front stretch, I believe it was.
What?
For his, but yeah. And then Ed Jones went out. He also has a broken hand with his crash into the wall. I don't know if they didn't. I don't remember if they said, but I don't know if something broke because he just didn't turn. Like I don't know.
And he did he take
maybe
out
he missed his
Matej
breaking point. I don't know.
Did he? And I'm guessing he took out Mateus Lace.
Well,
in the process?
Yeah, he did sort of, but I mean, it was more Mateus Lace cut too close to him and got his tire hit his back tire against Ed Jones's car that was against the wall.
Well, okay.
So I mean, everybody else was able to avoid Ed Jones, but yeah, Mateus Lace.
Okay, and
tagged him.
Now, Christian, this is the year where I am going to expect things from this kid, and wasn't impressed.
I remember you saying that. Yeah. So no, but I mean, give it at least give him till mid-season, Frank.
Okay, you know what? I will give him till mid-season, which would be what, Detroit-ish. I'll give him till race 2 of Detroit to get his act together. And,
okay.
And if I don't see any
and then
improvement,
we'll revisit this.
Yeah. If I don't see any improvement, I'm putting him right in the same category as the Red Baron.
So you had a couple post-race fines.
Cha-ching.
Scott Dixon got a pit safety infraction. And
man's sitting on mounds of it. Here, take some.
And the number 88 got a pit safety infraction also, post-race fine.
Who?
Colton Herta.
Oh. So
yes.
So that's is that during the race or is
yes, that was the penalty.
Is that from the qualifying penalty you got too?
No. This was the race.
These
were both post-race fines if you were listening to me, which you weren't.
I'm sorry. So he just can't stop getting penalties, whatever he does. Okay.
Yes, it was a shame. He blocked Charlie Kimball on his qualifying, slowed down in the middle of a racing line, which can't do that. So lesson learned, I guess. But yeah, Felix Rosenqvist was impressive. He led. How many more laps did he lead? 31. He led 31 laps. So kudos to Felix. Very impressive.
Indeed.
Although, like I said, I was not shocked at all. It's exactly what I expected to see out of. Of all the rookies, I think from him, I expect to see him. Which I don't know. Maybe because he did. I mean, Colton Herta raced Indy Lights too, but because he raced Indy Lights, a couple seasons back. I think it was 2016. He might have raced
17.
Indy Lights.
It was 2 seasons ago. Felix Rosenqvist. Are you talking about Felix?
Yes.
It was 2 seasons ago.
2016.
2017 season. We are in the 2019 season.
You want me to bust this out?
Did we lose Christian?
I don't know, did we?
That's a weird sound. I don't have my Skype up. Christian, you there? On hold. Why? Weird. Okay. Missy, keep talking.
Okay. So anyway. So yeah, I mean, I was impressed by Felix, being a rookie. I mean, actually, there was 3 rookies in the top 10, so the rookie class is going to be pretty impressive this year. And Marcus Ericsson, I mean, he again had a mechanical failure, so I mean,
sorry for that sound, everybody. I can't help that. We lost Christian. We're trying to get him back. I don't edit, so deal with it. Yo.
Hey.
Okay, well, you're back. Sorry, everybody. That's what Skype sounds like when you call. You should know this by now. It's been around for a while. Moving on.
So yeah, so
I don't edit.
three
so
out of 5 rookies in the top 10. But like I said, Marcus Ericsson had a mechanical issue, so that's can't really judge him on this one.
I did expect more out of him though, to be honest with you.
I do, but I mean, again, I can't blame this race on him since he had a mechanical failure. Nothing he can do about that.
I explained a whole heap and load from him at Coda because he's got the most time behind the wheel there in racing conditions and everything. Yeah. So, Marcus Ericsson should be the, basically, he should at least make the fast 12. I'll give him. If he doesn't make the fast 12 in qualifying and at least finishes top 5 in Coda, I will consider it a failure for him.
Alrighty then.
Because he's in a good car. He's not like it's the car that he's in. He's a part of a good team, so he has no excuses.
That is true. And he does have a lot of experience at Coda from F1. So
he's 100 races, for crying out loud. 100 F1 races.
But not at Coda.
No, it just, 5 or 6. That's all. So that's only about 100 laps or so behind, in race conditions at Coda that no one else on this field has at all. Except for maybe Felix. I don't know. I have to look at that. But it could be in sports car.
So there was 2 cautions during this race. Like I said, one was for when Ryan Hunter-Reay blew his engine. And then the other was for Ed Jones when he hit the wall. Clean that up. So pretty not bad.
And
there was a total of 11 caution laps, so not too bad out of
Yeah, and then the viewing audience lost 30 laps somehow.
Yeah, that was
NBC big fail this weekend, but you know what? I'm sure whatever it was, I'm sure they got it taken care of. I mean, it's the first. They've been doing St. Pete forever. This is unexcusable. I
did hear something that happened.
Somebody tripped over a cord.
Bums. Yeah, a bunch of bums. No, Frank. They don't get the bum speech.
Christian, just I've had about enough out of you. All right, look, we're doing this Saturday because I screwed up with the invitation because Christian can't tie his shoes unless Google Calendar tells him to. So I sent that up. We were doing the podcast on a Saturday. I don't know how I screwed that up. I always put it on for Thursday. So on Thursday when I talked to him about it, he's like, "What do you mean? It's Saturday, right?" And I'm like, "No." He goes, "Well, that's what the thing says." And I went, "Oh, well, I screwed up." And I have fat thumbs. That's why I misspell words all the time on Twitter. Not that I would proofread anything before I hit send or think.
Well, Frank, I didn't say anything about thumbs though. I said you're not going to call NBC bums.
Oh, bums? Yeah, no.
Yeah, where are you going with this thumbs thing? I said bums. Bums.
I heard thumbs, and I thought you're
feeling guilty because you're feeling guilty. I understand.
Yeah, I do feel guilty. I don't want to do this right now. We should have already done this. The fans deserve to have the show.
They do.
Fashion on every Thursday night or Friday, depending on how busy I am, which is, it's only Friday. But my point being is, it shouldn't be Saturday, but it is, and deal with it. But it won't be next week. And by the way, Christian, we have combined Lowdown for the Showdown with the main show. So the last 10-15 minutes of every show before every race is the Lowdown for the Showdown. So be ready for that next week on Thursday. That
Christian probably hasn't signed up yet.
Thursday.
Yes, next Thursday.
Before
Coda. At the end of the show will be a Lowdown for the Showdown segment by Missy for our Indy rivals, ISCP rivals.
It's all one show now, Christian.
Yeah, we're combining
not doing
them.
separate.
Right. Glad to see it back, though.
I'm happy it's still there. Yes.
That's right.
We still get to hear Missy's track facts too.
Although I do the NBC IndyCar Pass Gold, that was pretty awesome. I gotta say. I mean, they did flub up on the race, but IndyCar Gold Pass, which doesn't help you for the race, but it was pretty awesome for the practices and qualifying. I liked it.
I'll have to say,
I'll give that an A+.
Watching practice 1 on a Friday, fully produced with multiple camera angles. in-car telemetry, every driver's time, real time. It's just awesome. And then watching qualifying, even though they did air it live, I believe, not every race they do that. This week alone, for everybody complaining about the money and all that, this race weekend alone, for all the extra content you got that was produced, and it was in HD, and it was awesome. It was worth the $50 just for St. Pete, and we have 16 more events to go to be able to enjoy NBC Gold. So it paid for itself in one weekend, hands down. So everybody needs to stop complaining about it and just spend the 50 ducats. That's all I gotta say. And it's not one device or anything. You can spread it through multiple devices. I mean, Missy spent $50 on it, and me and her are using different devices. So it's basically $50 per household. Let's just say that.
Although I would be willing to sell my username and password for some Canadian people. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, tell me about it.
I thought about that, making money. Like, hey, Canadian fans,
selling your username and password on eBay.
Password here. $50 a pop.
That doesn't make
I'll make my
sense.
money back.
Wow.
That makes no sense.
Smuggling.
Kidding,
Look at you.
kidding.
Wow.
Just kidding.
$5 a race for my username and password. It will be on auction eBay. It'll be buy it now or whatever. We should do an auction for it.
But I mean, despite their flub during the race and the 30, I think it was like 30. It was quite a few laps that I didn't get to see. It was the most watched season opener.
I'm shocked.
Yeah, making it the most watched season opener.
I'm going to say every race this season is going to be the most watched whatever in 25 years or whatever, because IndyCar is coming back, everyone. IndyCar is, on a charge to be coming back to its old form again. And just look at the grid. I'll tell you what right now. When that green flag, that's a flub. That was an NBC flub right there. When the green flag flew, see what I mean? That was a tongue twister, and I stutter bad, so I'm glad I got that out. This was the most talented, deepest grid I've ever seen, and it's about to get even deeper in COTA when one Pato Award is on the grid.
I'm excited for COTA.
Yeah.
I'm definitely excited for COTA.
Okay, so I'll say this. COTA, when the green flag flies. Nice. Okay. That will be the most talented IndyCar grid since the early 90s. And I challenge you to show me a better, more talented, deeper grid than this one that we're about to have since then.
We'll wait.
Go ahead.
I said we'll wait. You said show us a better, more talented grid. I said we'll wait.
Oh yeah. Okay. Nope. Silence. No, I'm kidding. No, but that's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it with like all my opinions. Even though I respect everybody else's opinion, if you don't agree with me.
So also, I just want to throw out there the the total audience that was seen. It was 94% higher than the first race telecast last year, which was Phoenix.
94%?
94% higher.
Jeez,
94%.
That's a great number. It almost correlates with our download number. What?
Phoenix was, and it was up 42% on Sunday afternoon races shown last spring that NBC SN showed. So, and there was a.
What was that noise?
That was me.
Missy.
Oh, yeah, it was like.
That was me.
It's like Yeah,
that was me.
End of thought.
Yeah. And then they had here the meter market ranking of a 0.38 saw an increase of 6% from the most recent IndyCar Series opener shown on NBCSN in 2013.
That's awesome.
So increasing.
It should.
So glad to see it. And God, COTA is going to be so awesome this weekend.
Next weekend.
Right?
Well,
yes.
if you're listening to this on Monday, this weekend come up.
Yes.
However, we'll have another show So you get 2 shows before COTA. You lucky ducks out there, you.
Yes. So super excited about COTA. Cannot wait.
If I was a listener to this show, I would feel so privileged that I get 2 shows of this fine broadcasting quality and
so anyway, what did you
content
guys think about the race itself?
and getting cut off by co-hosts? Yep.
Sure do.
Rightfully so.
So grade for
Me?
St. Pete besides the NBC broadcast. Do not include the NBC broadcast in your grade because we know it.
Yeah,
They had a poor showing. Poor showing.
Yeah, it should not reflect the race itself and how good it was. Christian gave it an A-. Missy,
great season opener. Great season opener. Good way to start.
I gave it a B+.
I will go a step higher and give it a B++.
A B++. What? What's a B++, Frank?
Well, it's lower than an A-, but higher than a B+, of course. I mean, I had to.
It's got 2 plus signs at the end of it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's double your pleasure, double your fun.
And that was
B.
actually, we did have a poll on
Yes,
Twitter, and the consensus was a B for the race this weekend.
Yeah.
This past week or last weekend, yes, for St. Pete. So consensus was a B.
And the poll, and kudos to all the Twitter followers out there for stepping up and actually casting a vote on the poll. The Missy's polls have been doing well. She's happy about it. But don't slack off or anything. Keep it up. Or I'll start yelling.
As long
at
as
the
everyone
audience.
goes to visit the website that I have worked so hard on at www.theindysportscarpodcast.com.
Oh yeah, Christian, dude, you got to check out the website. Even though you're not on the website, so you can at least check that one out.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah. That's inside joke. Because wait, did we say that on there?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, Christian has never once listened to the show after it was recorded and produced, and he doesn't even know what the theme song sounds like. But hey,
I'm on the show. I don't. I know what we said, people. So
even if you listen to podcasts, he doesn't even listen to podcasts. That means he doesn't listen to even my podcast, the other podcasts I do, like LIW, the Twice in Review, or Way Off Topic Radio,
Which
or
is what
even
you're
the
doing
podcasts.
now.
Podcast.
Way
I don't think
off
Frank
topic.
understands my schedule.
Yeah,
He doesn't get it. Everybody.
I do get it, and we are very, very happy that you fit us into your busy schedule, Christian. Really, we do, and that's not even a joke.
I'm
from
happy
the
to be here.
That's from the heart, son. Right there. That is truth.
Absolutely.
Yep.
But no, one of these days, though, I will re-listen to a broadcast. I just feel like it's a little
Narcissistic.
I don't know. Yeah,
It's
like
a little bit F1.
if I was a musician and you got in my car and I'm like, hey, let's play some music, and I throw on my CD, right, like with the it's
that's self-promotion. Self-promotion.
I don't know. I just feel
Now, Christian, if you were a musician, what kind of genre would you be in?
We're trying to get your name out there, though, Christian. Just throwing it out there. You need some sponsorship. Christian needs sponsorship. So everyone listening, Christian needs some sponsorship.
Yeah.
So
we're working on it. The
Just
team at
wanna let you-
IHR, we're working on it.
That's what I mean.
Shout out to Hector and shout out to Joe.
Anybody?
Doing what they can for me and putting things together. So
It's awesome that you got people behind the scenes working as hard as they possibly can for you, man. That's awesome. Just like us, we work as hard as we possibly can for you too. And in some small, way, we hope that the podcast helps you out as well.
And if drivers need a reference, I will happy to be your reference. You're the greatest thing since sliced bread. That'll be my
the greatest thing.
Toasted.
Not white bread, though. Not white bread.
Wheat.
Toasted slice.
Rye. Actually, I personally like rye, but
Yeah, I'm a rye kind of guy.
With my eggs.
Especially with eggs. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah.
but no seeds, please. I don't like the rye bread with seeds.
I don't care either way. She's the one that has the
Yeah, I don't
seeds
like
problem.
the seeds. Rye bread, no seeds, please. Thank you.
Yeah, I don't mind. Anyway,
But I thought the race was pretty good. I mean, like I said, I gave it a B+. It was a pretty good opener. There was some, passing. It was exciting to see Felix Rosenquist. Joseph back on top. It was nice to see him back on top. Haven't seen him there in a while.
Am I the only one that senses some animosity between the announcers and Paul Tracy lately? Especially between Townsend Bell and Paul Tracy. I sense there's a tiff going on between them two. Because every time Paul Tracy would say something, Townsend Bell's right there to kind of contradict anything that he says. I've noticed that.
Well, that's what they're supposed to do. You can't have them agreeing on everything. It'd be boring for talking.
Yeah, but every single thing Paul Tracy says, Townsend Bell's like, well, blah, blah, this. Blah,
Grass is
blah.
green. No, it's not. You're right.
Not my yard, it's brown because I haven't been there so long. Because I don't water it. Like, okay, Townsend, Jesus, your hat sucks.
I guess I'll have to listen next time, but no, I didn't really pay particular attention to
See, I pick up on things people say that it just sounds different than what they really, make it sound like. It sounded like fun banter. I didn't pick up on it like that. I thought it was very passive-aggressive.
It could have been just fun banter, but I don't know. I wasn't really listening to it, but I was watching the race. But it was a pretty good race, and hopefully Ed Jones, gets well soon. And as far as I know, they said he's not going to be missing anything, so he's going to be a Joseph Newgarden and toughen it out.
Ed Jones is
a real
man. All right. When he's hurt, he still goes out there and throws down some laps, no matter what his father tells him to do.
So hopefully we'll see Edge. I mean, might not be. I probably wouldn't put him on my fantasy team for Coda. Just throwing it out there, injured, but yeah.
And we will go over fantasy. We'll go over how everybody did in fantasy and everything next show when we do the lowdown at the end of next week's show.
And again, you can find our fantasy league by going onto our website at www.theindysportscarpodcast.com and clicking on the tab that says ISCP Rivals, which will take you to our fantasy team.
It will also take you to every single social media that we have, and it'll take you to your favorite listening platform of podcasts, whether that be Spotify, iHeartRadio, Podbean, iTunes, what have you. We're there. Check it out and enjoy the show, even though you just have for the last hour. So you know how to find it.
What is your team name?
What?
Really?
What?
Your team name, seriously?
I know.
Frank Clementine Lynx Squeeze.
What?
Oh, God.
My team name in fantasy is Frank Clementine's Lynx Squeeze.
Wow.
Yep. That's a throwback to my other shows. And if you listen to them, which Christian doesn't, but you can by going to liwstudios.com, and there's two of them right there, or go to Way Off Topic Radio, and I'm there too. And I use that. I don't know why I came up with that dumb name, but it just makes me laugh every time I say it. Come on, squeeze. I don't know. It makes absolutely no sense. I think it came up because I was talking about how I like clementines better than oranges because they're easier to peel. Which they are. I mean, let's not face it. Oranges are a pain in the butt. But clementines, they just come apart like that. They want you to eat them easily.
Or for all the parents out there, cuties, I believe they're called.
Little cuties. And I am a little cutie. Squeeze.
No.
So that's why my team name, Frank Clementine Lynx, squeeze. So whenever you read it, that's how you'll hear it now, okay? Now, just be reading it without the context, it looks a little bit weird. Now you know the context, and it's funny now. So there you go.
Aye. So that was St. Petersburg this weekend. So all around good racing.
Hashtag Firestone GP.
Yes.
Thank you, Firestone, for making rubber round. Round rubber. Yep.
Radio.
Doing what they do best.
And I believe that's it for this week.
Christian?
Is that a wrap?
Anything else that we missed that you want? Oh, Christian, where can they find that a great piece of literature.
Oh, thank you. My Life and Story, The Outside Groove, forwarded by the legendary Willie T. Ribbs, can be found on Barnes & Noble, Amazon.com, Books A Million, Kodo, Walmart.com, and...
other fine retailers.
That's right. That's right. Please pick that up. It's essentially the first part of the story of how I've gotten to this point. And excited, getting more and more excited every day for the second part of it, which will be when which will document me getting to the actual 500 one of these days. So
I can't wait to read Us in the book. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, actually, yeah. No, you will be in that second half. That's right.
Better be.
That's right.
That's right. And 5% of the proceeds sounds about right.
And on that note, you know that I know that even Frank
Clementine Link squeeze.
and definitely Christian know Cody's going to be awesome, you know?
Pato's back, baby. Pato's first race, can't wait.